Before you visit your aging parents this holiday, there's a few quiet signs that you might want to look at to see if your mom and dad, or maybe it's your mom on your own, are managing okay in that family home. Most adult children miss them. Hopefully by the end you'll know if their home is still safe, if your senior parents are well supported there, and what choices exist in Ontario long before a crisis ever shows up. This visit can give you clarity and not fear, so let us walk through it together. Before we begin, here is what we're going to cover. We will look at what the home is telling us. We will look at the 4 major barriers that keeps families stuck. We will walk through 3 simple clarity questions. We will look at a full range of housing options, and we'll talk about a gentle idea called the winter trial stay. Hi, I'm Michael Wright, and I'm a realtor and a senior housing transition educator here in Halton, Burlington, Oakville, Peel, and Hamilton. I help aging adults and their families understand their housing options. And when it is time, I help them sell the family home and move into a place that supports their life today. This transition could be looking at a condo, a bungalow, or a retirement residence. I focus on 2 areas. Firstly, I focus on the transition, and then the practical side, the selling of the home, the transaction. Every week, I speak with families who feel unsure when they walk into their parents' home, but they're not sure what to look for if they're managing okay. Nobody teaches us how to evaluate a home for an older adult, so people rely on their gut instinct. Your gut is useful, but structure is much better. And here is something important. Aging parents often try to hide the warning signs. They do not want to worry you, so they tidy up, they mask things. The home often tells the truth long before the person does. When you visit your parents for the holidays, you will get the full picture. Things that you won't get on a phone call or a short visit. Spending time with your folks, you can see how they actually are living. I call this the holiday lens. It is not about judging your parents. It's about observing what the home is telling you. A lot of people focus on the stairs, thinking that's the biggest risk. In reality, danger usually starts in the bathroom or a dim-lit hallway, or a loose rug or an icy walkway. This is why simple observations really matter. Let me walk you through a few things to notice while you're there. Start with the lighting. Are the hallways dim? Are your parents walking around in low light to save money on hydro? Good lighting is one of the easiest ways to prevent a fall. Let's look at the floors. Loose throw rugs are the #1 indoor tripping hazard for older adults. To put this in perspective, 30% of older adults 60 plus will have a fall once a year. This clogs up the hospitals and limits the future of many older adults. I visited a home once where the family was so proud that they installed a stair lift for mom and dad. But the problem was the stairs were not the only problem. The lighting was poor, the rugs slid easily, and the bathrooms had no grab bars. The stairs were not the danger, the whole environment was. Now let's go to the kitchen. Is the fridge almost empty? Are mom and dad eating well? Is there expired food? Are there bird marks on pots and pans? It could be diminished mental capacity, leaving the stove on, or forgetting that you've even started that meal preparation. Cooking is one of the tasks in the activities of daily living. Let's check the bathroom. What do they hold on when they stand? If they're holding onto a towel bar or a soap dish, this is very unsafe. A proper grab bar is designed to support weight. Finally, let's look outside. Is the snow cleared? Is there salt on the walkway? Are their winter boots in good shape? Do they have winter boots? In Ontario, winter magnifies the risk to aging adults. Not only is there increased risk of falls outside, it's the social isolation. Who are they talking to? Who are they communicating with? Are they enjoying life on their own in that home? After this brief review of the family home, maybe it's time to sit down with your siblings and say, is this home still working for mom and dad, or is it starting to work against them? When families start to worry, they often run into 4 barriers: denial, lack of information, the magnitude of the process, and fear. Denial sounds like, I'm fine, I've lived here for 15 years, I can manage, I don't need any help. The biggest thing with denial is the fact that our minds won't let us accept that we're aging. No matter what age you are, your mind thinks you're a lot younger. When you see your 85-year-old mom and dad, they in their minds think that they're 65 or 60 years old. They don't see themselves the way you see them. The second thing I run into all the time is lack of information or misinformation. Many people are confused about what options are out there, about home care, retirement, long-term care. There's many options out there besides just staying at home. This is the one that gets most people. The magnitude of the process stops so many people. You have a home that's got stuff in it from 30, 40, 50 years. How do I get started? Decluttering, paperwork, selling, moving. I'm overwhelmed. When you have denial, when you have the lack of information, when you're overwhelmed with the process, fear takes over. Fear of losing independence, fear of the unknown, fear of upsetting mom and dad. These are all real fears. Understanding these barriers helps you stay patient and respectful. Many times I get a call that's that siblings are fighting with mom and dad, and there's arguments and people telling each other what they should do and what they shouldn't do. This is a very sensitive topic, and it takes patience, understanding, and time to overcome all those fears and barriers that we have to deal with. When families worry about their aging parents, the first thought is often, we have to move them right away. The question always revolves around where should mom and dad go, instead of why are we asking them to leave. This pressure usually backfires. Is it for more socialization? Is it for a more manageable house? Maybe it's a financial concern. But if we define the why, then the where starts to fall in place. So what I do is I slow things down and ask 3 simple questions. Is the home working for them or against them? Second question, are they socially connected? The television does not count as socially connected. Isolation anytime is detrimental, but in the winter it's magnified 10 times and could be more serious than any physical hazard. I often ask the parents, what would life look like if we could take away the problems of cooking, snow removal, stairs, driving, keeping that home all together? What would it look like if we removed all those stresses? At this point in the conversation, we're not asking mom and dad if they want to move. We're just asking them how we can make their life a little better. Is it removing a lot of the pressures of maintaining the family home? These questions can bring honest answers. All these questions are part of a planning process. We make financial plans, vacation plans, we even make funeral plans, but for many of us, we don't have a plan for our housing. This is what we strive for. Let me share a quick story. I was working with 3 adult siblings that all had different ideas. One wanted mom to stay put, one wanted mom to move to a condo, the other one wanted mom to move to a retirement residence. The problem was they were all looking at different lenses through their own different lenses. One was looking at the lens of what the family home used to be like. One looked at the lens of they were tired of coming over and cleaning the house all the time. And one was looking at the fact that they wanted their mom in a safe environment. After the planning process, everyone's thinking started to get aligned. And we all realized that we wanted the best for their parents. Now let's look at some of our housing options. For many families, they go 0 to 100. Mom's gonna stay at home no matter what, or we have to move mom to the home. There is a full spectrum of housing options, and we're gonna go through each one individually, but basically, we'll call it the Housing Care Continuum. So living independently and bringing in support services. Maybe it's downsizing to something more manageable. Maybe it's looking at a retirement residence, which has the option of assisted living or memory care, and furthest down the spectrum would be long-term care. So let's look at each one. Living independently and modifying the home. So maybe we're doing better lighting with grab bars, removing rugs, hiring help with meals or snow removal. This can work for a long time, but it does not fix the socialization aspect, the loneliness that can be living in a home alone. Another option is downsize, which I actually hate the word downsize. We always talk about aging in place, and my big philosophy is aging in the right place. And as my role as a realtor is, once we define the why are we moving, is find a type of housing that will meet the needs moving forward. Is that a condo? Is that a bungalow? Is it a fact of you want to minimize some of the costs that you're experiencing? Maybe it's just lowering the workload of have a large family home. This is not giving up, it is choosing a home that fits your needs today. Another option is the retirement residence or retirement community. There is so much confusion in this sector. My friends in the retirement home industry cringe every time people mix up long-term care and retirement residences. So let's focus on what is a retirement residence. It's a social setting. You have your own suite, you have your own door, you can come and go as you please. It's independent living with support services in place. So within the retirement residence, you have several different opportunities for living. You can live totally independent. You can live with independence but have support services as you need it. Maybe your mobility is diminishing and you need assistance, more assistance, so assisted living is part of that. And unfortunately, diminished mental capacity, you need memory care or something to that effect. First of all, retirement residences are a lot different than long-term care. A friend from a long time ago in her presentation, she compared retirement residences like cruise ships. And I thought that was the greatest analogy, is that, a cruise ship is just a wonderful way of living where they look after every aspect of your life. There are cruise ships that are inexpensive, you have mid-range pricing, and you have super luxurious. It's the same in retirement residence. You can select the one that meets your needs and your budget. There's so many options out there. I suggest to visit as many as possible. Let's now look at long-term care, which for many, it's the old term nursing home. It is totally different than a retirement residence. Long-term care is a medical setting for people that can no longer manage on their own. We hear about all the time wait lists for long-term care. It's really not a wait list, it's a priority list. The people that are admitted to long-term care due to the fact that there's so few beds are people with severe physical or mental impairment. You could be on a list forever. Unless you hit that threshold of severe physical or mental impairment, you're not going to be admitted to long-term care. Long-term care is subsidized by the government, which means that you pay part of the expense and the government pays the rest of the expense. This posted rates are the same all across Ontario, whether it's in Timmins or Chatham or downtown Burlington, those costs are the same. People a lot of times look at how much it costs for long-term care and they'll see a private room is $2,500 and they go, wow, that's affordable, I want my mom to go to long-term care. You have to meet the criteria to get into long-term care, which is a severe mental or physical impairment. Okay, it's not an option. You don't choose to go to long-term care, you were sent to long-term care. As we've gone through this planning process, we've really identified the why we're making a change. Why are we looking at making a change? Then we've identified where would be the most appropriate place to live. If we're talking about a retirement residence option, there's still a lot of fear and apprehension around that. So many retirement residences offer short-term or longest-term stays. Take it as a test run, is that you can stay for a 2-week or a month and see how you like it. This is something that I encourage everyone to visit a retirement residence, see what it's all about, and then maybe take advantage of that trial stay, especially in the winter months where you really need that safety and socialization. With my clients, I take them through that whole process so they're not doing it on their own, so we can identify different retirement residents that would meet their needs. The question I get asked most often is, how do I start this conversation with mom and dad? There's a lot of fear involved in that because they're your mom and dad. They worry about hurting their feelings. They worry about a really negative reaction. These are the people that have raised you, stood by you, been the pillar of strength, and now you have to have a conversation where they need some help, they need some direction, they need someone to be the stable voice in their life. How do we start that conversation? Don't talk about moving. Don't talk about getting rid of stuff. Don't talk about painting the house. Talk about, let's make a plan for the future. We're not moving today, we're not moving next week, but let's make a plan for the future. Many times when I speak to a group of older adults and I talk about the transition as we get older, I can see the fear in their eyes. And I know they want to talk to me, but they don't want me to sell the house from under them. So I really have to talk to them and say, look, we're making a plan for the future. I'm not coming into your house and putting a for sale sign on right away. Is that we want to make sure to understand why you're thinking of making a change, where to go, and how's it going to be achieved. Some of the reactions I get from mom and dad, one of the classic ones is, my house is paid for, I live here for free. I'm never going to pay a maintenance fee in a condo. I'm not going to pay those expenses in the retirement residence. I live here very cost effectively. One of the processes I go through is showing people that it becomes very expensive. People always think, oh, Mike, the taxes are X number of dollars, utilities. But we don't take into account the ongoing maintenance of an older home. Things are so expensive now to get fixed or updating. Bathrooms are $25,000 to $50,000. Kitchens are $100,000. You're not living there for free. We also look at, getting care into the home. Sometimes staying at home and getting some extra care is just the perfect way to go. But we also have to look at, as more and more care is needed and all the other services required, that we're going to have to look at other options that are maybe more cost effective. What we do when we're talking to the adult children is giving them a full picture. What are their options out there? How do we communicate this and how do we implement it? My goal is to have a seamless transition for whatever we decide, whether it's mom and dad staying put, mom and dad getting some support services in, mom and dad downsizing, mom and dad going to retirement residence. We identify the transition needed, and then we move on to the transaction. We don't know what's going to happen in the future, and then there's this whole crisis decision-making process starting. No one can make a decision in crisis. Imagine walking into your parents' home this holiday feeling prepared, clear on what to look for, some of the warning signs that mom and dad are not doing as well as they say, clear on what options are available to them, clear on what supports there are in the community. This is what this planning process is for. My role is simple. I'm a realtor that focuses on housing transitions. I help aging adults and their families understand their options without pressure. We look at the home, is it meeting their current and future needs? We look at safety, we look at socialization, we look at the financial impact of the house. We look at the options that are available, and when it's time, I focus on the transaction, the sale of the family home, and all the components required to complete that. Our goal is to make sure that your parents are aging in the right place. You don't have to go through this alone. After you've enjoyed your holiday visit and you've done that gentle evaluation of how mom and dad are doing, you probably have questions. To answer those questions, alleviate anxiety, take the time, give me a call, and we can discuss the options on how to move forward effectively. I know these videos are short, so what I've included here in the link below is our blog, which goes into detail of what I talked about. It also has the contact information, so if you want more information, you can give me a call.